What's going on, everyone? Investor here. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and then don't forget to hit that bell icon so you know when I release new videos. So today I've got something a bit different to share with you. If you've been following my videos for any length of time, you've noticed that when I do my portfolio updates, I typically skip this section right here. About 3 months ago, I opened Fidelity's Robo Advisor account. I haven't been putting much money into it, but I have been consistent with what I have been putting into it every 2 weeks. I wanted to see what this Robo Advisor can do, what this account can do. Will it make money? What will it invest in, etc. So today I wanted to go over all of this with you. I want to cover what the Fidelity Robo Advisor is and what it can do for you according to what Fidelity says. Then I will get into my actual account, full transparency, and I'll show you what it has bought. I'll then go over each of the holdings. Don't worry, there's only 5, and what the overall numbers look like thus far. So stick with me, and then after watching this, you should have a full overview of my entire portfolio if you've been following along with the other videos. If you're new here, please go check out those other portfolio videos as well, so you'll have a full picture of at least what I've been working on and what my account is all about. So let's get into it. Okay, so Fidelity Go Robo Advisor. So right now I'm basically just on the Fidelity website. I'm actually logged into my account and I clicked on it, but the information you should see should be the exact same as what's on the website. So just kind of cover what Fidelity says the Robo Advisor should be before we really get into anything else. So this platform is probably going to be just like many of the other Robo Advisors out there, depending on which brokerage account you have. And the Robo Advisor is basically set up, I think, the same way that many of the other ones have, with the exception of Fidelity does have some proprietary index funds, things like that, that it will invest in, as well as I'm sure others do as well. But you may notice a lot of similarities if you're using a robo advisor from other brokerage firms or whatnot. So let's take a quick look. So Fidelity Go, so let us handle the investing so you don't have to. Basic ins and outs of this account. You put money in, it's a managed account. They buy, they do everything for you. They handle the investments. It is completely designed to be a 100% hands-off aside from you putting the money into it. So taking a look here, affordable investing, you can see no advisory fee for balances under 25,000. So your typical account is going to fall into that 25,000. Once it hits 25,000 or greater, then they'll charge you that 0.35% advisory fee, and that's an annual fee. And I believe the site's going to cover a little bit more of that here in a second. So, yep, actually right next. So the advisory fees, like I said, is 0.35 a year for the balances of 25,000 plus. Plus, you get the unlimited one-on-one coaching calls, so you get a little bit more, to it than just here's a fee. So you actually get some coaching, some sessions. You got some questions you want to ask, it'll do all that for you. No minimum to open this account. So, and you'll see here when I go over to mine, there's not a lot of money in it, but what have I always said in a lot of my videos? Work with what you have, right? So it takes $10. That's all it takes to get this account going, and then you can just put money in as you want, and the robo advisor or the team that does it will go ahead and invest that money for you. So, but you don't need that minimum. You don't need anything like that. $10 and you can get going. So, and if you'd like, you can convert your existing Fidelity account. So, and this part is probably what's going to be similar to many of the other accounts, but this is one thing that I do like at least about these accounts. It isn't that you just put money in and then boom, it goes and buys things for you. You kind of have your tolerance level, your risk level, whatever you want to call it. When you put your money in, it's going to determine, okay, well, you set your preferences at this. This is what we're going to try to do. If you want to be super safe, it'll invest accordingly. If you want to be extremely aggressive, it'll invest accordingly. So when you're setting up your account, you'll have this same little chart just like this of how you want things set up, basically your risk, your tolerance level, what you want to see. I believe I set mine almost at the most aggressive, and you'll see. So if you go all the way down to more conservative, you can see where it's going to put things, mostly into bonds, domestic foreign stock here, but short-term stuff, right? So I went over here to almost the more aggressive, like really trying to push the growth and whatnot. And it puts 60% of it into the domestic stock, 25% into foreign, 15 to bonds, and 0 short-term. So if you went all the way aggressive, you can see what it does there. But you set that tolerance level, and you can change it at your whim. Like if you just decide this isn't for you, can change these things. So, and then you can go from there. So depending on what your tolerance level is, like I said, that's what the needs of the account are going to be set at. Once it starts investing for you, then you can change it if you need. So when we covered this, you'll see this robo account won the Kiplinger's Award in 2023 for best robo out there. and then basically a bunch of questions and documents, things like that, and all the disclaimers down at the bottom. Obviously, it says involves risk. So obviously, investing in itself is risky. So just because a robo advisor or some sort of platform such as that is doing it for you doesn't remove the risk. It just means that you're more hands off with picking these things. So essentially, just quick recap: you put your money in, the professionally managed account or the robo advisor team will invest that money accordingly based on that risk and tolerance level you had preset. So then it'll just continue to do so if you leave everything the way it is. So let's get into my account. Okay, let's take a look at the 5 holdings that the robo advisor has purchased for me. So what we're going to do, we'll jump into each one of these and then we'll jump into the actual accounts so that you guys can see. But I wanted to jump into the actual funds first so you guys can have a brief look at what each one of these are, and then we'll get back to my actual account. So very first one that it has purchased for me is ticker symbol FDFIX, which is the Fidelity Flex 500 Index Fund, basically tracking the S&P. So here is the NAV or the share price, 23.97. Jumping across, it gets 4 out of 5 stars according to Morningstar. Get pretty decent returns, 0 expense ratio. And risk is about medium there, and you'll see the average returns here for the 1, 3, 5, and lifetime. So lifetime is going to 14%. Hey, not bad, right? So again, the expense ratio is 0. Typically, Fidelity funds purchased within a Fidelity account are going to cost you nothing. Hypothetical growth. Top 10 holdings, real heavy into the tech sector, which you can see here. The top sector is IT at 32%, which most of them are coming from United States-based companies. So you see Microsoft, Nvidia, Apple, Amazon, Facebook, basically, Google, Berkshire Hathaway, Eli Lilly, and Broadcom is what holds up the top 10. So first one, ticker symbol FDFIX, Fidelity Flex 500 Index Fund. Let's jump on to the next. Okay, taking a look at number 2. You'll see this one, nice big blue bar across this one. International Equity, so ticker symbol FITFX is the Fidelity Flex International Index Fund. So gaining some exposure into the international market. See the share price, $13.91, 3 out of 5 stars, average returns, 0 expense ratio as well, and just an average risk in this category. You'll see the performance there, life at 6.22%. The return, again, 0%. Expense ratio, just the hypothetical growth. Top 10 holdings, you'll see Taiwan Semiconductors, the top holding at 2.75%. This fund has to do with the financial sector. Majority of these holdings, you'll see 14.3% of them come from Japan. So that is your Fidelity Flex International Index Fund, ticker symbol FITFX. Well, let's jump on to the third. Okay, taking a look at number 3. This is your municipal bond. So ticker symbol FUENX, Fidelity Flex Municipal Income Fund. Again, investing into the bond category, so good exposure to you there if you haven't been introduced to that. See the share price, $9.85, 3 out of 5 stars. You can get decent returns. Again, a 0 expense ratio and very low risk. So 2% is the projected annual average return. So not the best. You see your hypothetical growth there off 10,000. List of your top 5 issuers. Again, this is bonds, so this is going to come almost, you see 94.45%, so almost entirely from the U.S. market. But one thing I did want to point out is the fund seeks to provide high current yield exempt from federal income tax. So I'm going to try to make you some money there with the high yield. So, all right, jumping on to the next one. All right, taking a look at the fourth one, you'll see U.S. equity here, the Fidelity Flex Mid Cap Index Fund. Basically, this one is going to track the top mid-cap companies. Ticker symbol FLAPX. Again, the Fidelity Flex Mid-Cap Index Fund. Share price 17.7%. 3 out of 5 stars according to Morningstar. Average returns, again, a 0 expense ratio and just average risk. We'll go the lifetime average annual return is 9.8, so not bad. Again, the 0% expense ratio. Take a look at the top 10 holdings there. CrowdStrike at 0.74, so you can see this is more well balanced. There isn't one position that's really the best or holds the most out of the entire account there. Focusing heavy, 20% into the industrials, basically all out of the United States, so 99.16% out of the US. Mid-cap companies, so Fidelity Flex Mid-Cap Index Fund, ticker FLAPX. Let's take a look at the last. All right, the last of the 5 holdings that it purchased for me in this robo account is going to be another equity here, the Fidelity Flex Small Cap Index Fund. So just like the S&P, the mid cap, we now have the small cap, so that way you can get exposed to all the small cap companies. So ticker symbol FLXSX. So 15.45 is the share price. Only 2 out of 5 stars on this one. Bordering into the low returns, 0 expense ratio, kind of an average to higher risk. You'll see a 7.3% average annual return over the life, but you'll see in 3 years, that one here kind of dips down. So this one tends to be up and down, it may seem. Let's take a look at the top 10 holdings. So Super Microcomputer Inc., MicroStrategy, Carvana. And this will be real heavy into the industrial sector again, 16.75%. And 98% of the holdings here are from the United States. So again, the Fidelity Flex Small Cap Index Fund, ticker FLXSX. So let's jump over to my account now that you guys have seen the 5 holdings. So real brief on those, but jump over to my account and show you the figures. Okay, jumping back over to the account. So you'll see, click on the individual Fidelity Go. You can see I really only have $155.19 in the account. $25 every 2 weeks is what I've been putting in for the last 3 months. So roughly 6 deposits of 25 bucks. So each $25 increment, once I put that money in, then the Robo Advisor will buy the shares. And if you're not familiar with the holdings that I just got done showing you there, being that they're all index funds, and we'll show you here in a minute, typically they don't price until after the market. So if you were to put, let's say, $50 into the account when the market opens, it's not going to touch any of that money until after the trading day. The index funds typically do not buy anything until the trading day is done and over. That's when they're priced, and that's when things go to work. So the money at least. So 155.19. So let me jump over to the positions here, and you'll see here's the holdings that I just showed you. Take a look at the quantities. So you figure $25 every 2 weeks. You see 3.32 shares of the Fidelity 500 index fund, so basically the S&P. We'll call it 2.8 shares of the international fund. This cash is going to be invested, so I won't worry about that. So the bonds here, 2.25. Then you can see the mid cap and the small cap, not even a half a share yet. So it looks to me as though right now it's real heavy on trying to get you into basically the S&P and the international fund. So that's where it seems to be spending the bulk of the money. But you can see this is basically the numbers after the market Friday, but you'll see these little purple triangles here. That's to indicate down here that the security has not priced today. So such as mutual funds, index funds, these are not priced till after the market closes. So that way, it's not going to give you a full accurate depiction until after the market that day. So you can't say up and down for that day. We just don't know yet. So total gain, let's see, only made $4.84. But this number, it equates to 3.24%, but you got to keep in mind that when I only had $25 per week, it's, what's it making off $25? I think the first day it made like 40 cents, so it's compounding itself just based on that $25 that I've been putting in. So if I was to put in $150, this number may be a little different because obviously it's had more to work with. So yeah, this number is going to be a little different if it was all the 150 bucks, but $25 a week. So far only up $4.84, so 3% off of the $150 that I would have put in. So can see basically $155.19. So each one of these, I believe, pays a dividend. I just haven't received any of them yet. So hopefully when those start rolling in, we'll see some more of the account changing and be able to reinvest those dividends, and hopefully we'll get that up a little bit more. But basically, guys, that's what I wanted to show you. I said full transparency into the account. You know, the fact that there's only $155 in here. Don't get too bogged up on that. I wanted to show you what the account purchases, kind of how it works. You know, if it was making any money, which I mean, obviously it is, but only $4 is, you know, it is what it is. But like I said, based off $25 increments, how much could I really make off 25 bucks? You know, kind of thing. So, you know, each little bit helps. But if I continue to put the $25 in every 2 weeks, hopefully the account will get higher, and obviously start buying me more of these shares here. So if you guys have any questions, please leave them below. Any comments, I'd be glad to answer what I can. Obviously, I am still, you know, newish to this and still learning a lot as far as what I can and can't do with this account. But if you're interested, you guys can go, please do your own research. Obviously what it's done here, it may do the exact same for you, it may not, I don't know. Every instance may be a little different, especially how you set that meter. But if you're interested in it, please do your research. Don't try to copy what I'm doing or anything like that. So this isn't financial advice, this is just me showing you guys what I've got. So, and again, if you're new, please check out those other portfolio videos so that you can see everything going on in my account. So for those that have been following, now you guys should have a full understanding of all three accounts that I've got inside my Fidelity brokerage here. You know, everything that I've been working on, so you guys have a good idea of what's going on, what I've been spending the money on, and how things are going. So if you guys have any questions, again, please leave them below. If you're new, hit that subscribe button. Guys, I'll catch you on the next video release. Hopefully it'll be my upcoming portfolio release for you. Happy investing.